because of that, I don't think he's the pick. But I do think it's Will Anderson, although I'm wrong because apparently it's CJ Stroud.
Is it?
That's what I just read.
Is it confirmed, guys?
So
I'm not seeing it, but also Twitter timeline lately is not as...
Connor Hughes, who was obviously around the first pick, according to SNY TV. SNY TV looks like they're the go-to. They're killing it. Shout out to them. Because Connor Hughes was the first on it. I'm following all sorts of reporters and everything, and Connor Hughes had it first with CJ Stroud.
Stroud. Okay,
so,
that's not surprising. CJ Stroud is my number 2 quarterback. Like I said, I had him very close with Bryce Young. I know everyone wants to talk about the test. I kind of agree that's a little concerning. That was eventually what put Bryce Young at number 1 for me. A lot of people, I think, as we got closer to the draft, wanted to say that Richardson, was above Stroud. Levis, was above Stroud. But I don't ever think that was the case, and we're seeing it now. CJ Stroud is a Houston Texan.
Yeah, so unless Connor Hughes is dead wrong.
No, he's
I
don't
he's
think
right.
he is. I'm seeing other people report on it now. Jake, do the Cardinals trade number 3?
I mean, right now, I think it just got pretty... It was already valuable before, but now it's like, I feel like you can kind of leverage the Colts. Like, hey, if you want Anthony Richardson here, you better trade up to 3 or we're going to send this to the Titans. So I definitely think it's possible that
I think so
they could
too.
Leverage them into a 1-pick trade.
I think the no-brainer pick is Will Anderson here, and that's what I think who they're gonna pick if they don't trade.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I think it is a no-brainer pick, but I think if they do trade down, that also makes sense too, because if they trade down, they have a lot of ground to cover. They're probably going to trade DeAndre Hopkins. They're probably going to move on from some of these guys, and they lost Budda Baker. Or they're going to lose Budda Baker. Okay, they're trading the pick.
Where'd you see that?
Connor. The Texans have just traded up.
Wait, the Texans are picking 2 and 3?
Yeah, they're just like, we want everybody.
Is it going to be Jackson? It might be Will Anderson.
There's no way it's Jackson Smith and Jigba. This is Will Anderson. No doubt about it. This has to be.
It is Will Anderson.
Yep.
It's Will Anderson. Confirmed.
Hold on a sec. Shams just said that Arizona's picking Will Anderson. And Adam Schefter said they just traded. No, the Texans picked Will Anderson.
Ian just said the Arizona Cardinals are trading with the Texans.
Yeah, there's multiple people. So, yeah, Shams, stay in your lane, my guy.
Stick to basketball, man.
We love you for basketball. Let's just keep you there.
Wow.
I love this. This is this right here is telling me that the Texans aren't taking this in stride, okay? They're not going to wait. They're going to take advantage, and they're going to try to compete this year. They're going to try to win the division this year. This is what this tells me, and I like that. And I think the Texans fans deserve that, because after the whole Deshaun Watson debacle, this is a really good move, I think, for the Texans. I think people will disagree with it. I think there are a lot of people that thought, okay, JSN at 12, that makes a lot of sense. I mentioned they stay at 12 for Will Levis. You get the best pass rusher in the draft, bar none, in Will Anderson Jr. I mean, looking at my big board right now, like, he's my 3rd overall player in the draft. So you get him at 3. I really like this for them. And I gotta say, that I appreciate the strong arm.
Thank you, Houston Texans, for keeping Will Anderson out of the NFC West.
Yes,
I appreciate
that's another thing. I'm going to say it's Anthony Richardson here. It fell perfectly for the Colts to just pick Anthony Richardson. And I know that there's a lot of people saying, you know, Will Levis is like minus 1,400 are the odds. I'm going against the crazy odds there. I'm gonna say it's Anthony Richardson. I'm absolutely wrong, probably, because Vegas doesn't lie, but I'm gonna stick by it. I don't know how you pass an Anthony Richardson. You have Gardner Minshew. He can start this year. That's why you got him. It doesn't make sense to go out and get Will Levis, and I don't think he's ready either. But I don't think he's anywhere near as good as Richardson.
I agree. Would y'all mind and let me know if you can hear me eating my dinner, which is going to be a small little bite of this 100 calorie protein bar. And so I was at work. I came straight from work and I have not eaten today. Jake, the Colts took Anthony Richardson.
Evan.
It kind of makes sense though, because you know
that
before
they did, right? Like it's
they took Anthony Richardson. And you know why that kind of makes sense is because if you think about it, whenever all the talk about the Colts taking Levis occurred, everyone just assumed that Richardson was going to go be traded. Someone was going to trade for him and he was going to go number 3. So dude, I guess I wasn't thinking about the fact that
I love this. I really love this. Alexis.
Well, he's better than Levis, so I love it for the Colts.
So first off, he's better than Levis. Okay, second, my guy Evan, he's a really good friend of mine. We talk all the time. Shout out to him. He's a Colts fan. He's been on Anthony Richardson. He's been telling me to watch this guy since November. Okay, Evan Shefkowitz. I love you, bro. But I am so happy for him right now because he just got a franchise quarterback who can sit behind Gardner Minshew, like I was saying. He has the highest upside in the entire draft, regardless of position. Okay? And I'm just so glad that Chris Ballard didn't just pick Levis, right? He actually went and he just stayed there, right? We talked about that. He didn't get leverage to move up to 3. He picks the best overall player at that position at that point based on all the potential. I absolutely love this for the Colts. In 2 years, he could end up being an absolute star. And I think he's going to be. I really believe that because everyone's like, oh, he's a 1-year starter. Oh, the accuracy concerns. You just say he's a 1-year starter. So meaning he's going to get a lot better when he gets a chance to play, you know? And the way I look at it, you know, Jonathan Taylor, Alec Pierce, right? Pittman, right? You know, I really like what the Colts are doing here by going out and getting him. And I'm very excited for him. And he's saying, he's in the comment section right now, like, I'm a cry. Yeah. Okay. This is a freaking win, my friend. This is my favorite pick in the draft. I love what the Texans did, you know, basically just stiff arming the division and be like, you know what? Stiff arm the entire draft. Be like, we're just going to go out and get the best pass rusher after getting the second best quarterback, you know? And now the Colts are like, we're just going to sit here and take Anthony Richardson. You know, you can kiss those Vegas odds. And Alexis, I did go against minus 1,400 Vegas odds. I said it on here. I said they're still going to pick Anthony Richardson. I freaking love this. I love this pick. And Dawson Mercer just scored a goal. And now we're cooking with gas. Devils are up 2-0. Anthony Richardson's a Colt. Evan is also a Devils fan, so he's probably going absolutely crazy. Yep. This night has me ascending.
Rightfully so.
I love it. I love it.
Someone's trying to trade up, Jake.
Who do you think that would be? The Titans? Will Levis here?
I could see the Titans or
I'm not trying
Vegas.
to turn him into the next DK Metcalf because the real ones know. We were like, is DK Metcalf going to go here? Is DK Metcalf going to go here? Why is DK Metcalf not going here? Like, you know, I've been saying it's Jalen Carter for weeks. I would be surprised if it's not.
I don't see why. Like I said, the only reason I see why it
wouldn't be is no. It is Devin Witherspoon, who is the best cornerback in this draft, in my opinion. This is A-plus pick for Seattle. And I didn't even realize, didn't even occur to me that they can make this. I love this pick, but I obviously don't love it because it's the NFC West. But it is a fantastic pick for Seattle. You're getting an absolute baller, coming out of Illinois. Obviously, I don't have to tell you that, but
Yeah.
it's just he is a very, very good talent. And I think it might be a little bit like he might have gone. No, I don't even think it's a reach. I think he's absolutely worth being the 5th overall selection. I had him going off the board at 6 to the Lions. That's who I would have drafted.
Though, I'm curious how they're going to design their secondary around this. They're going to move, because I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Don't they have, so they've got Woolen and Bryant. Now they've got Witherspoon. They've got Jamal Adams, Julian Love. It's an amazing set. I just think they probably had other needs. I mean, Witherspoon is an amazing talent, but I just don't. I think Jalen Carter just would have been.
They do pick at 20. So what I was thinking is, with them making this pick, they probably look at Adetomiwa Adebare from Northwestern or Kalijah Cansey or somebody like that. So, I mean, I could see them going in that direction. Poona Ford was an undersized defensive lineman. Maybe that's what they're looking for. And maybe the Jalen Carter buzz of him falling down the board is absolutely real. And if that's the case, then that's the case. But, I mean, Devin Witherspoon is a monster. Like, he's got... I compare him to Darius Slay. I thought he was 100% going to be there for the Lions. So this is a really good pick, I think, for Seattle. And adding him to a secondary now with Julian Love, with Jamal Adams, hopefully, he's the same guy coming off the injury. Tariq Woolen, Quandre Diggs, Kobe Bryant. I definitely see the need because Mike Jackson, Trey Brown, Isaiah Dunn, like that makes a lot of sense to me to go out and get another guy there. And Julian Love is going to be more of a safety nickel guy. I think they might actually, like Kobe Bryant isn't starting over Devin Witherspoon. So it's going to be Witherspoon and Tariq Woolen on the outside. And that is a nasty tandem. Oh my God. The Lions just took Jamir Gibbs.
What? Are you sure?
Holy hell. Yes. Running back off the board at 12. Jamir Gibbs out of Alabama. And I'm not hating on the pick at all by any stretch. I have a first round grade on him. I just didn't think we would see 2 running backs taken in the first round. I didn't think we'd see them that early on.
They just signed David Montgomery to a 3-year deal. They've got DeAndre Swift.
Nah, maybe they don't have DeAndre Swift. Maybe they're looking at it like he's on his way out. Maybe they're like, we're going to trade him.
They're definitely trading him.
I
have to say, I don't like this pick for Detroit. I really actually don't like this pick for Detroit. I very much hate this pick, actually. Because of all the needs, Detroit is a team that's been ascending. Of all the needs that they have, and you take Jamar Gibbs, of all the holes that you have, I mean, you've obviously got to... And you know what? I just realized that Skoronski's a Packers fan because his grandpa played for the Packers. So, anyways, sorry. Of all the needs that you have, Christian Gonzalez is right there. You could go tight end. This just is not moving you forward at all.
I will say this: if I go by my board, he's number 13 on my board. This is about where his value is now. Positional value. Clearly the league is, and this is what I'll say, Alexis. Last year, remember we discussed this, and I talk about this all the time. Last year, we saw the running back come back, right? We saw 1,400-yard rushers again. I'm not saying rushers, a rusher. The point is running backs came back. The reason is because there's more off-man coverage now, right? There's more zone coverage. There's more soft zone. There's lighter boxes. So a lot of teams are running the ball. And because a lot of teams are running the ball, I think running back value has gotten back to where it was. Now, what we're not going to see is we're not going to see guys get tons of cash in free agency. It's why there's a lot of good running backs in free agency still available. And the reason is because this class is loaded, Alexis. And that is my negative and why I would not pick a running back in the first round. Because I think Jamir Gibbs is fantastic. Jamir Gibbs was the number 1 weapon for Bryce Young in probably the worst receiver group the Alabama's had in years. He stepped up as a receiver. He was the leading receiver. Gibbs, to me, I wouldn't have picked a running back. But if you're going to pick one here, Gibbs is the guy. I only have 2 feature backs graded in this draft, like 2 true feature backs, and it's Bijan and Gibbs. And I have Bijan at 5 overall. He goes at 8, and I had Jamir Gibbs at 13, and he goes at 12. So interesting, kind of like a Todd Gurley pick.
Everyone on the timeline that is a Lions fan, and obviously everyone who's also not Lions fans, is just nobody is a fan of this. I think this is a horrific. I'm going to use that word. Now, what you have to do if you're the Lions, I think this is dumb. But what you're going to have to do now is you're going to have to trade Swift. You can't have all 3 of them. And maybe they just really don't like Swift. But, you've got holes on that team. And you put yourself in a position, if you're the Lions, where you've been ascending and you had other holes that you could fix. Christian Gonzalez, Michael Mayer, Lucas Van Ness, that would, I think, push you into the NFC North, which just got weaker with Aaron Rodgers gone. And you're basically making a pick that's just like, it's not doing anything for you. It's just not. I would have been less surprised if they had went and taken Levis, which I don't think they would have done, because I think that they actually do like Jared Goff. But everyone, everyone's reaction is just like, this is just a terrible positional. I just can't believe that, actually. This is like something I feel the Rams would do, drafting like, what's a position we don't need? The Rams taking like a, God, this sucks, because now that I think of it, I don't know that there's a position that I'd be super angry. Think of a position that would be bad for the Rams to take in the second round. To me, it'd be a quarterback, but this is what that feels like for me.
It's a reach based on the mock drafts and everything, right? But I think this, I have him as my 13th overall player. I think this is the best player available pick. Just like when the Rams said Todd Gurley was number 1 on their board, number 1, like he was their best player in the draft. I think it's one of those picks where they had a ridiculously high grade on Jamir Gibbs. They probably had Bijan 1, Gibbs 2, or something like that. Then they trade down because they're like, we're not going to pick Gibbs in the top 10. And then they, now they get him here at 12, and they added a second rounder. So the mock drafts make this look like a big reach, but we don't really know.
Pick is not in that I'm seeing. I just really think they need to trade out. Saw a stat that the Jets had the 3rd worst ranked offensive line last season. I think they've got to trade down.
Yeah, no, absolutely. They have some really good talent, but it's a lot of raw talent. I like Max Mitchell, 4th rounder last year. He showed some signs. Elijah Vera Tucker, love him. Connor McGovern, they bring back. Laken Tomlinson had a horrible year. They were not expecting that. They gave him a lot of money. And, they still have Mekhi Becton. They Dwayne Brown came back. But, I think they got some young talent. They got some unproven talent. But I think they definitely need to add some more beef into that offensive line room. And Alexis, I'm just going to say this right now, and I don't care who this offends, like Jets fans. This is literally why I said the pick swap was a stupid idea with the Packers. To agree to that was so dumb, because what the Steelers did is they identified that they wanted Broderick Jones. He was the best tackle remaining, and they jumped the Jets to go and get him. Okay? But if you do not do that, if you don't have that pick swap, and you stay at 13, you get him. He fell to 13. You see what I'm saying? The Packers picked at 15. That pick swap cost them the guy that they wanted. And that's the cold hard truth about it. We could say, oh, this is tough. That sucks for the Jets. That was the problem I had with the pick swap. Because guess what, Alexis? Remember when I said the Patriots picked ahead of them? Patriots didn't even have to pick, Alexis. They just did their damage with the Jets by just getting rid of the pick. See what I'm saying? So That was a big miss, I thought, by the Jets to not to agree to a pick swap in the first round for Aaron Rodgers with that contract in it. I just think that was really stupid. And I think that the Jets have been really good about the moves they've made, and Joe Douglas has been phenomenal. That was real stupid. And that is a move that I will go on record criticizing because, they just missed out on their guy that they wanted. And look, they could probably get Christian Gonzalez here. He's better than the guy that they want, in my opinion. But
Connor Hughes said that the Jets are milking the clock, so the pick isn't in. I mean, it's under 2 minutes. They're probably trying to trade out. I don't know.
They're trying to trade out.
I think that if they don't trade out, they're taking JSN. I really do. There's a lot of people on the phone. They're shaking hands. So something's happened. If you're watching the
I don't want to freak people out, but I'm very concerned that Will Levis is going to fall too far and the Rams might trade up and get him. I'm very concerned about that possibility.
Did you not hear what I said a couple of minutes ago?
I don't think I did. Oh, yeah.
I said, someone please take Levis before Les Snead gets any ideas. Like, please. I will be...
Especially, if you go quarterback, that fifth year option is huge if you're going to draft a quarterback. I'm not saying I agree with you for doing it, but if you're going to, you want to get him in the first, not the second. Yeah, I would be furious. I would not be.
I would go ballistic, probably, to be honest.
The Jets are picking, so we'll see what ends up happening.
Will McDonald.
Oh my God.
Interesting. So
my God.
This, to me, is incredibly high. But
he's my 8th overall player. I love him.
I think this is way high for Will. But at the same time, if that's their guy, I mean, maybe they like him better than Miles Murphy or Nolan Smith or Felix, or I'd have to pull up my rankings to see. I think that I had McDonald in my... I don't even know if I had him in my top 10, but let's see. I had him number 8, the 8th edge rusher available.
I had him 8th overall. I had him as my number 2 overall edge defender.
I know. I have him as my 8th edge defender.
Oh, yeah.
Ed Tomiwa ahead of him, Felix ahead of him. I have, if my graphics want to load, I had Nolan Smith and Miles Murphy ahead of him. So I think this is super high for me, but I like Will McDonald. If he would have been there when the Rams picked, I would have loved for the Rams to have taken him. I think he can start right away. I think
he's awesome. He really is. He can start right away. He was played out of position at Iowa State, a guy that, if he played from a wide 9 perspective, then, he probably goes way higher. But Will McDonald is an absolute baller. And he was asked to play in a 3-tech, a 4-tech, a 5-tech at Iowa State, played out of position at his 238-pound frame. And the guy I've talked about so much on this channel, he is just an absolute dog. Like, this is somebody that has 16 sack potential. This is somebody who could be the best pass rusher from this draft. And in a lot of cases, I had to ask myself, is he maybe better than Will Anderson? And I was saying, he's got better bend, I believe. I think Will Anderson is a better run defender. But now I know that this guy can play. He was double teamed, going up against these big double team guards and centers and whatnot. He held his own because he's played out of position. The Jets aren't going to play him out of position. I love this because this adds it to JJ3, who they got last year, Jermaine Johnson the third. They're just, my God, they're absolutely they're killing it. I think that this is a great pick for the Jets, and it's going to seem like a reach, but I think that the mock drafts have people thinking that these guys are going to fall and that's a reach, when, let's be honest here, Will McDonald is one of the best pass rushers in this class, and they just got They just got a dog for that defense.
I like Will McDonald. I think this is way too high, but I think I think with the edge rushers in this class, if you have your guy, you should just take him. There's a lot of edge rushers, very edge heavy class, so I don't think that it's a wrong pick by any means. I'm a little surprised by the Jets taking an edge rusher, to be honest, but I do think they did try to trade out of it, and so I think it just came down to they weren't going to trade. So
Oh my God, Washington just took Emmanuel Forbes.
really,
Oh man, this is what I'm talking about. Those are the two guys that I really liked for the Rams. Wow.
that also feels like a reach to me. But I mean, Forbes ahead of Gonzalez.
Yeah, I think Forbes is an absolute baller. He actually broke the record for most pick sixes in the FBS, and I am shocked that he's still there, Christian Gonzalez. But Forbes is really, really good. He's my third overall corner, and I mean, it's another guy that I was hoping would fall to the Rams that I just didn't buy would fall to the Rams.
Someone tweeted, "Did Christian Gonzalez kill someone?"
You can't drop something like that and not warn me. My God.
That's so
Alexis
terrible.
off the top rope. Holy hell.
Well, it's like, why is he dropping like this? It doesn't make sense.
I mean, yeah, but holy hell, man. Oh, Lord. Just comes out, just like all this like pause and like I'm eating. It's like, it's just me talking to myself into the abyss. There's like all this like quiet. And then Alexis just comes out. Did he kill somebody? Like, oh my God.
I mean, what is this like weird energy about Christian Gonzalez?
Hell if I knew. Oh my God. That was great. That's gonna get clipped. That will turn into, people will clip that, put that on Twitter. That'll turn into a TikTok. Like, Christian Gonzalez just kill somebody. Like
what did he do? Did he like? I mean, it doesn't make sense. I mean, New England's still on the clock, by the way. They haven't made the pick. I think it's going to be JSN or Gonzalez. If it's not Gonzalez, I don't know.
Wow, what a win. The Devils just totally dominated the Rangers 4-0. Their 21-year-old goalie shut out Igor Shesterkin.
Cool.
I don't expect you to know any of that, but if I gave you more details, you'd probably root for the Rangers because Tarasenko's on them.
I do like Tarasenko.
That's something I mentioned last night when I was doing my mock draft. I said, don't be surprised if they trade in the first. But I don't I don't know who they would trade up to get. I will just say this. If I were the Rams and I did trade into the first, it'd probably be the back end of the 20s. I would go out and get, the way the board is turning out right now, because I don't expect Gonzalez to fall to the late 20s, Alexis, I would go out and get Jalen Hyatt. I would get a dynamic deep threat receiver to make my offense absolutely explode. I see a lot of people on Twitter still saying that McDonald was a reach and Forbes was a reach, but I'm just telling you that right now, the NFL, their boards are completely different than our mock draft communities are. I just realized Alexis has a pillow with my childhood crush on it this whole time.
Who said that?
Garrett Bishop.
Oh, Garrett, Aubrey Plaza. She's the best. She's my hero.
Oh my God.
What?
Jack Campbell.
Okay, that is also a reach.
What?
Detroit, what are you doing? My God.
Jack Campbell.
I feel bad, but
I don't think this is a linebacker class that should have gone in the first round at all. But if there was one linebacker, I did have a first round grade on Drew Sanders. That's who probably should have gone. Jack Campbell, I don't know. I don't see it. I have a third round grade on him. I don't know, man. That feels like a legitimate. Like, we're talking about mock drafts being reaches and they're not the board and everything. Jack Campbell going ahead of Drew Sanders to me is a little surprising. But also, like, 18, I don't know. I don't ask for much. I'm just asking for the Rams to not trade up and take Will Levis.
Please, God.
That's where I'm at right now. Look, I don't mean to hate on the guy. I know I'm bagging on him, but in all honesty, I just don't want them to take a quarterback. Do you know why, Alexis? Because all the good quarterbacks are off the board. Okay, I don't see the point of taking a quarterback this high. Go out and get Jaron Hall in the 5th round and call it a day. Go out and sign, A.J. McCarron as your backup out of the XFL, or sign, Ben DiNucci, or sign Carson Wentz. But please do not go and get Will Levis just because the connection with God, no. Like, I would be so annoyed if that happened. We don't need Mayo, man.
People are starting to get a little too comfortable with these things that they should not be comfortable with.
Yeah, the whole safe space thing has been taken too far.
Like, listen, I know that my pizza order is bizarre, but a lot of people have tried it and liked it.
I'm not the only person
that likes it.
I think it's the most bizarre pizza I've ever seen, but like, there are ingredients that have gone on a pizza before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
I disagree with you.
Beverage.
Yeah, like, I disagree with you saying like it's good, right? But it's your opinion, right? So I respect it. I'm gonna bag on you, but it's all in fun. But Will Levis, my friend, mayo does not go in coffee. That is never in the history of human, like,
I also want to know,
that's never existed.
I want to know how that idea came about. Like, what made him be like, I want to put lard in my coffee today. And not only that, then he did it and he liked it.
Yeah.
That's concerning to me.
Just think about how much pain the Rams organization, their social media account could put us in by just putting a bottle of mayo as their, like. So I'm getting reports and I'm hearing that the Rams are very high on Dalton Kincaid, tight end out of Utah. And if he's there, I think they would go after him if he's available. Based on what I'm hearing. Some scoops in here. I was allowed to say that.
I don't dislike him. He's my 3rd overall tight end.
The thing with Kincaid is that he is a big slot receiver he's a good tight end, but he's a receiving tight end. He's probably the best pure receiving tight end in the draft. But my thing is, he's going to have to develop as a blocker. And I think the Rams are willing to be acceptable of that if they were to go out and get him, because the way I see it is that this is to help you now. He can play right away. And this is post Tyler Higbee. And it took Tyler Higbee a while. Remember, Tyler Higbee was just a pass catcher. And it took Tyler Higbee a while to get things going. And then when Tyler Higbee finally, developed, now all of a sudden he has a well-rounded game and is a blocker. I would have gone with Quentin Flowers. Or Quentin Flowers. That was a quarterback. I would rather have gone with Zay Flowers. But Quentin Johnston he's a good player. I mean, I think this is a little bit of I don't know. I could have seen him going to
He was my second receiver, so he was the second one taken. So
he was my 7th receiver. Jackson Smith and Jigbo was 6th. Addison was my 5th. I have Zay Flowers as my 4th. I think Jalen Hyatt's the best receiver in this draft. I really do. I believe that. Well, what I'll say is this: if the Rams they could just really like him and think that like if he's there, cool, but they're not really expecting him to. Like they might even trade up. Like that's the thing. I could see them trading up and getting Kincaid if they like him enough. And for those out there that are like a little worried about the Gerald Everett thing, he's way more polished than Gerald Everett. Way more polished than Gerald Everett coming out. So I think there's definitely something to be said.
You know what? I could see Baltimore taking Zay Flowers. I know they just signed Odell Beckham Jr., but you sign Lamar to that huge extension. You build around him, give him weapons.
Flowers, Odell, Rashad Bateman. Am I missing somebody?
Well, those would be the main three. Mark Andrews with the Sir tight end.
Well, yeah, Mark Andrews, but didn't they get another guy? Aguilar. That's who they signed.
Oh. Yeah, well.
It's a lot of speed. It's a lot of speed. I think all those guys are in the 4.4s. Oh, Ravens are getting Zay Flowers.
Yep. Good call.
Oh, man.
Well, to me. I was bragging to myself. I don't know who I was talking to. But, yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Like, I mean, Odell Beckham Jr., Zay Flowers, Nelson Aguilar, Rashad Bateman, Mark Andrews, J.K. Dobbins, Lamar Jackson. They're going for it.
They are. Really, and you just got Lamar Jackson, that 5-year deal. That's all taken care of. Now you go out, you get Lamar another weapon there. Bateman was a great pickup in the past, so we'll see what ends up happening with his overall development. Odell is going to be a baller this year. I believe it. You have, Mark Andrews, obviously, and, the guy that's now everyone's favorite meme, Likely, So Isaiah Likely. But no, I really like what they're doing there. And yeah, I wouldn't rule out them getting another receiver either. But I mean, now you have Beckham, you have Flowers, you have Bateman, you have Aguilar, you have Prochet, you have Tylan Wallace, you have Devin Duvernay. I think they're feeling pretty good. They got Mike Thomas that can help them on special teams, Andy Isabella. So I think they're feeling pretty good about this position right now. And I think the next position, next pick, maybe they go after the interior defensive line, go after, maybe helping out that offensive line a little bit. I do like some of the guys they have on it, but they are a little bit older. Morgan Moses, they could go out and maybe get a tackle if they don't believe in Daniel Falele. I think he definitely deserves some time to develop, but no, I like what the Ravens are doing here. I really do. Just want to say thank you guys for being so fantastic. We just hit our third. I can't even talk. We just hit our third hour of doing this, and the numbers, at least from my screen right now, on my channel, we're at over 1,300 views, and we have 244 people in here right now across 3 channels. So Amazing. We appreciate that. And, the more the merrier, right? This is just day one. This is pretty good, Alexis, for just day one is what I'm saying, because, obviously the majority of our following, since this is the Downtown Rams live stream, are Rams fans. The Bills just traded.
And I was just about to say that, and this has to be Brian Branch. Or it's going to be an offensive lineman, but
I think the Bills are trading up to get a receiver. I think this might be Hyatt. Yeah, this might be Hyatt.
That would make sense.
I would be very upset if this was Hyatt.
Honestly, I just don't want Hyatt to follow the Chiefs because that would be unfair.
Oh my God. Don't even speak that, because that'll happen.
That's what I've been scared of, and I don't want it to happen.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Someone said Bills taking tight end, ? I think they really like Dawson Knox, but maybe. I think now in the league nowadays, it's super common to have kind of 2 top tight ends. Maybe they don't view Dawson Knox as like a true tight end 1, but I kind of felt that Bills also might go offensive line, protect Josh Allen a little more. The
I think.
Bills have drafted Dalton Kincaid.
Oh my God.
Jake's brief Ram dream is dead.
It wasn't my Ram dream. I was just like, okay, this is cool.
No,
This
I'm
is
actually
cool.
relieved because I did not want Dalton Kincaid. So I'm relieved right now because I did not want Dalton Kincaid.
Makes sense. I mean, I had said it. I was like, I could see them trading up for Kincaid. And, why do you trade up for Kincaid here? Well, the Rams wanted Kincaid. Not going to get too much into it. I don't want to go too crazy, but the Rams really liked him. And I think there's a very good chance the Bills they caught wind of the fact that the Rams were calling around and potentially wanted Kincaid here or, at some point. And so they thought they had to move up. That's that stings. If they really, really liked him, like I'm hearing, that stings. Apparently now we're spelling Utah with like 1A, but all right. Totally screwed up that spelling. It's the one gaffe I had today. And it only took 25 picks for me to mess it up.
Oh my God, what if they take Nolan Smith, Jake? What if the Eagles end up with Jalen Carter and Nolan Smith?
Makes sense. This whole Georgia connection going on. They took Nolan Smith. Oh my God. Chestnut checkers, man.
God. Unreal. Unreal. And like I've said, I obviously want the Rams to make a turnaround, and I'll always be rooting for them to make the Super Bowl, but man, it's hard to think that it won't be the Eagles again.
To get Nolan Smith,
Why does everyone in the Eagles war room like wearing the same exact suit? I don't know if y'all are seeing this, but
I mean, the Eagles just absolutely dominated the draft. They just ate it
wow.
alive. Like, what the hell, man? It's only round one, but I mean, that's a hell of a 286 people in here. That is crazy. Oh, man. I'm going to eat everything that is available for me to eat when I get off this stream. Oh, God.
Everyone, do not get my hopes up about Michael Mayer to the Rams. Please don't, because you're setting me up to just be crushed when he's available and the Rams don't take him. And then I'm just going to be devastated. So I almost, in a way, need him to be taken.
I still can't. Nolan Smith, you gotta be freaking kidding me, man. It's just, like I said, the rich get richer. Chestnut checkers. I gotta say, not that I'm rooting for it, but I do think if the Rams were to go and get Will Levis, or they were, going to get a quarterback like that, I do think they'd be successful. But that's just like, I can't stress enough, that's not the guy I want. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying Will Levis would be terrible on the Rams, but I'm just saying right now, like, and I understand there's a lot of, stuff going on, like, on Twitter right now. Sauce Gardner just put out, Will Levis, it's, God's plan, essentially. You're going to be great, whatever. But I think at the end of the day, like, we have the guys that we like. And this is during the draft. And then after whatever happens, right, we kind of just deal with it. So if there have been prospects you and I have not wanted the Rams to draft, and they've proven us wrong, and then they've also proven us right, I think it goes both ways, So, yeah. And I thought it was a better pick than going quarterback. And that means Will Levis has fallen to the second round and has a chance to be a good value for a team, because clearly a lot of people saw him in the first round, maybe not NFL teams, but a lot of people. And we've seen it before. Sometimes second round picks work out. Sometimes they don't. I got to tell you, though, I feel bad for anybody that goes to the draft as a player and doesn't get drafted on the first night. That has to absolutely suck. And while he might be memeable, he might be funny, Will Levis is a human being. We're not rooting against him. Making that very clear.
Yeah, I feel bad for him, but it's going to contribute to a chip on his shoulder wherever he goes, for sure. You know? Proved everybody wrong. Got that fire.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for tuning in.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Tomorrow it starts an hour earlier. So tomorrow we will be live at 7 Eastern.
Yeah.
So, and tomorrow night's gonna be a long night because it's this times 2.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be like a late night situation. And the Rams pick.
Yeah, they'll finally pick, and that's always nice. And who knows? Maybe they trade up, maybe they trade down. You gotta have to tune in to find out. But that's gonna do it. And we'll be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed this live stream event. And go subscribe to Alexis' channel, the Downtown Rams channel, my channel. And we'll have more content for you tomorrow. Until next time.
Yes, we will.
Later, folks.